Welcome to my morning coffee. Always bold, hot, and full of flavor. Gia and Tonya are my morning coffee. What's in your cup?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of My Morning Coffee, where the conversation is always hot, bold, organic, and full of flavor. And today, we promise not to disappoint. There'll be three spicy ladies on the panel today, so stick around. I promise it will get interesting starting now. Gia, what's in your cup? What you been up to?
Good morning, y'all. I got some, I think I have a latte.
Ooh, that cup.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Show us the cup.
Like my cup?
Up a little. Let me see.
Can you see it?
Okay. Talented, grateful, unstoppable. I heard that.
Yes.
Where'd you get that from?
That's me. Hold on, let me get a sip. I found this little cutie. I believe I found her at I think it was at Marshall's. Because I be out shopping and stuff. But I think I found her at Marshall's. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's so cute. I wanted to get it. I think the designer of this cup, she has a whole series of cups. I have another cup that's made like this and says something different. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's really nice. I liked it. And I said, that kind of sums me up, talented, grateful, and unstoppable. And that's how 2022 is starting off for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm getting it. So yeah. What have I been up to? Yeah. Cappuccino. No, latte.
Wait, latte? Oh, you fancy today?
Girl, look, yeah, I'm fancy, but y'all don't get excited because I didn't make the latte. So I don't want y'all to be getting excited. Oh, Gia making lattes. No, I didn't make the latte. The hubby made the latte for me. Because we're out of creamer right now. And so I like cream. Well, I like coffee in my cream. So since I don't have any cream, I can't have my regular coffee that I make in my little Keurig thing because I don't be making no coffee either. So I just use a little pod, that kind of thing. So he made me I asked him to make me a little latte this morning so I could have something warm in my cup. So that's what I have. I have a latte. I think it's caramel.
So, latte. Okay, Jeff made the latte. Frenchie, he's the cook in his house too. Yeah. I'd be interested to know how many of our viewers that have a significant other that they are actually the masters of the kitchen. So if any of you ladies are out there and your husband is the one that works the magic in the kitchen, I'd love for you to tap in. That's always quite the interesting conversation. But I'm glad if you can't cook, stay.
Well, yeah, and look, and y'all don't be out there trying to judge me. I'm not gonna say that I can't cook because I cooked before I met Jeff, but Jeff is the better cook. So I'm a type of person, if somebody's better at something than me, that's their thing. I let that be their thing because I don't want to get no competition or nothing. I don't want him to be thinking, oh, trying to compete with me in the kitchen. So I just let him have the whole kitchen thing. That's my thing, stuff. So
where Ray wants to compete with me? Who can clean better? So I just let him have at it.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. See, that's what we do, Tonya. That's what we do. So
I don't want to compete.
Right, exactly. So I'm saying I let him. He good at cooking. I let him do it. And actually, he really enjoys it. I really don't. I just cook out of necessity. I think because I had to eat something. So that was my thing. So I'm not into it like that. So I let him have it. So he's the cook in this household, and he's also the latte maker in the household. So
your hair is cute, and Miss Deborah said she loves your new hair. I wanted to ask you, is that some kind of kinky freaky thing with y'all, or it's just
Look, first let me say, hey, Miss Deborah, thank you. You like the hair and glasses. Now, this is my little ponytail that I, my 2022 ponytail. Y'all like it? I was trying to do something different. I was trying to change it up and, try to bring a little different look in for 2022. So I figured I would try this little ponytail thing out, but not just because it was cute, but also I don't have to really comb my hair. If y'all know me, I'm not really into combing of my hair because my hair is very thick and
long.
So it takes a lot for me to really deal with this. So when I can find a hairstyle that I can tie it up at night and go about my business, that's what I do. So I rocked in my birthday because my birthday was last weekend, y'all. I missed y'all on Monday, but we'll talk about that too. So I was bringing this in from, I was trying to, bring it in for, my birthday and stuff. So I got this little ponytail. Look, yeah. But as far as a little kinky, freaky thing, Tonya, I don't know if I think our show is PG. I don't know if it's rated R. So I'm going to just not act like I didn't even hear that comment and stuff. But, hey,
listen, but I know
it's a
Jeff
ponytail. All I'm going to say is a ponytail. And hey, that's, and it move around. That's all I'm gonna say.
I was about to say, I know he back there ear hustling. So if he want to tune in, tap in like he always do, I don't hear him kind of quiet right now. But
so
we'll
yeah, but and it's up here pretty tight. So hey, it's
okay.
It ain't going nowhere. But yeah,
maybe that was TMI. I don't know.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, there you go. See, starting stuff, Tonya. But yeah. So what have I been up to? I've been up to a few things. As you guys know, we relaunched my website, The Mahogany Box, for my birthday, which was January 1st. So I've been busy actually with that, Tonya. I want to thank everybody who participated in the launch with the t-shirt pictures and you guys posting looking really nice and stuff. I want to thank everybody who did that. And I want to also thank everybody who went to my website on my birthday and actually the week of my birthday and actually purchased something from the website. I was offering a discount if you use the code EXECUTE if you bought something from the website. So that was the purpose of the launch. I wanted to let everybody know that the website, look at him, no messing with y'all. Oh, not messing with us this morning. I want you guys to know about the website being relaunched and just to go there and, show me some love that way. And people did. So I actually been busy, Tonya, actually filling orders and stuff. Because as you guys know, I make everything that I put out there. I don't use it. I'm not using a drop ship company at the moment. So everything is done by me. So when you place an order, I make it or either I've already made it. So I was busy doing that because a lot of people they really was excited about the camouflage execute sweatshirt and hoodie that I made. So I've been busy making filling those orders. So I'm happy about that. I'm excited that the whole execute is resonating with a lot of people in 2022 because
why don't we show that again? You want to see it because you weren't here last week when we showed
No, I
it.
wasn't.
So please hold.
We'll talk about that too. Why I wasn't here and my fill-in. I hope he did good. I hope y'all liked him and everything. But I think Tonya did, y'all, because she was all talking about Jeff, and I think she was trying to move me out and put Jeff in the seat. I don't think
every single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day I'm gonna make something.
Oh, look at there.
So we do. We support you. We love you. We hope everyone takes the time to go out to the website, check it out, and execute in 2022. Why? Let the people know real quick, because I don't want to keep the guests waiting too long, but let them know why execute. What is that about?
Well, the word resonates with me because to me it's like execute. I took it so I wanted to execute all the things that I want to do. My goals for 2022. My passion. It's about getting it done. Do it. Don't stop waiting. Don't put it off. And whatever you want to do, just execute it. Sit down and just do it. And that's what I wanted everybody to do in 2022. And I want to motivate people to, go out and execute whatever it is you want to do, and execute daily and execute with excellence, because that's what it's about. It's really about executing you, so that's really what it was for me. And I'll be curious to know what it means to other people. So if you guys want to chime in and comment or go to our Facebook page and tell us what execute means to you. And if you are going to be executing in 2022.
Yes. What are you going to be executing in 2022? For me, I'll let you know what's in my cup. Got a little coffee. It was a long weekend. And this COVID stuff is like nauseating and draining. Royce came home from school on Friday. He had a, and they were like, "You need to come get him. Like, we ain't playing no games." Okay. So he's been home. He got COVID tested, negative. All the kids, they got those sent home. All the schools now have tests at home. So we all were mandated to test before the kids could go back to school. So I had to get that done. It was incredibly hilarious watching them take the test with it was a mess. You know, my kids, they're a mess. So we had that. We had baseball all day. It was a lot. So coffee, executing this year. We have a webinar coming up for authors or pending authors. I've been spending more time with authors just because they don't get PR services like most people do, because PR is incredibly expensive, one. Two, authors already don't make a lot of money. So I'm having the webinar to help them understand how they can be their own best publicist. If they need or can afford that, that's great. But the webinar is going to help give them some points, lots of takeaways on how they can execute it themselves. But I will tell you, only because I'm still fanning out, Just Pursuit, Laura Coates, they sent me her book. So we'll be having her on my morning coffee. Her publicist definitely knows how to make it happen. So I think even if you can't afford a publicist, people write some amazing material. So I've been spending more time on how I can help authors and people that just publish great works, and want to make sure that it gets out to the people, because there's nothing worse than amazing content, amazing information that nobody ever has a chance to ingest. So helping them out. The webinar that's getting ready to lock and load. If you need a strategy session, that's up there. So I've just been setting a lot of time aside for people that need PR services but can't really afford a publicist, and how I can help them with that. So all that you can always find on Sand and Shores, all social media platforms. But in my cup, definitely lots of coffee. And I don't want to hold you guys too long, but I want to bring on our guest, because I think she's been executing a few things in 2022. Miss Teresa Hardy, we're going to bring her on. She is currently the president of the NAACP in DeKalb County, out in, most people know it as Georgia. They'd be like, Atlanta, Georgia, that's DeKalb County. So for those of you that don't know what county, LA County, it's easy to say LA County. Y'all know it encompasses LA and some other stuff. That's most people say it.
Well,
the
thing about that, Tonya, in LA County, LA is so big because as a county, and some of these states, you know, our LA County encompasses probably maybe 10 or 12 counties in other states. So that's the, you know, people think of it.
It's the largest county in the country.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's nuts, but hers is the hot box for Black politics. So let's go ahead and bring her on. Miss Teresa Hardy, how you doing, ma'am?
Hey, Teresa.
You're on mute.
She on mute.
Unmute. Because we got to hear what you got to say, ma'am.
Oh yeah, good morning.
There you go.
How y'all doing?
Good. What's in your cup this morning?
What's in my cup? I got a little coffee with hazelnut.
She got her creamer. Gia. You need to make that store
creamer.
run.
Okay. All right, Teresa. All right.
So what's going on with you? Let the people know a little bit about you, what you have going on, and what you plan on executing in 2022.
Oh my God, I got so much. First of all, yes, I'm the president of NAACP DeKalb County branch, which is the second largest branch for the state of Georgia. It encompasses 750,000 residents here in DeKalb County, majority Black, Black in residents, and Black in also political representation, and then Black in just leadership in general. We're also for NAACP at the beginning of the year, we kicked it off with a Jubilee celebration of the Emancipation Proclamation, where we had our CEO to deliver a speech that says, protect our democracy. Protect our democracy, whether we're in a pandemic, we had this economic shift. and we also have the COVID going on. So even with all that going on, how we're going to push through. So we're spending a lot of our time giving out food on Saturday, staying close to our churches to do prayer. And then we're also trying to keep activities to keep everyone active, because isolation causes death in the Black community. So we just have to keep ourselves active. So that's some of the things that we've already kicked off in this January, 10th.
Listen, I want you to go a little deeper in what you just said. In isolation causes death.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think everyone understands that. And especially now when we're in a time where COVID cases are rising and people are getting more afraid and starting to isolate more.
Mm-hmm.
What is the solution, and why do you say isolation kills? I understand it, but I want you to explain to them.
Yeah. So first of all, just a personal experience with myself. I am a very social active person. And the first time that we had to shut down, there was a mental breakdown here with myself, saying, what am I going to do? What am I going to do now that I can't talk with people? I can't see people. Even though we had virtual, that's something I've always done. 20 years, IT consulting, global processing with information technology. That's what I've done. So that's not the same. When someone tells you you can't do something, it actually makes it really, really hard. Isolation is just like being in slavery. You're not free. And you're not free to do what you want to do on a regular basis when you thought you had the freedom to do what you wanted to do on a regular basis. And the fact that someone is going to be isolated in their own space for an unknown time could cause death. And as you know, that did happen to a lot of people because they did not have the help. No one was checking on them. So the death piece, yes, I'm saying that to put that word out there, but people have died due to isolation. I also spent some time with the youth, and they told us that the isolation piece was worse than, being in virtual. It's the isolation piece with Black people that we have to deal with, because I think I associate it mostly with slavery and not being free to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting, your perspective on it, how you put it out there, and stuff. And I guess, when the pandemic first hit and everybody was asking how their lives changed and things like that. And I know with some people, lives did change because they weren't going to work. And like people that always ask me, and I was like, well, my life didn't really change much because due to my profession, I still had to go to work. Right. So I wasn't one of those ones that had to stay home and stuff like that. So I still was going out and interacting with other people, people, on the workforce and stuff like that. I wasn't totally isolated. And then listening, you talk about how the youth look at it. And I guess because I'm thinking, I'm listening to you, I'm like, wow, I didn't think about it like that for the youth. But then I realized too, the youth of today is different from when we were youth. And because they're more social. Everything they do is social, interaction and stuff like that. Whereas when we were young growing up, I don't think we interacted socially as much as these kids do nowadays, so I think we got on punishment back in our day. See, these kids nowadays ain't never been on punishment, so they don't know how to be isolated. See, that's what the problem is right there. I'm gonna give y'all some tidbits today, okay? So yeah, so you see what I'm saying? We had punishment, so we knew what it's like to not be able to see our friends for a week or 2 weeks, depending on what we did, right? That's how long our punishment was, okay? So we got used to, we were used to that. Yes. But this day and age, see, these parents ain't out here disciplining their kids. Their kids ain't getting put on punishment, so they get to do whatever they want to do all the time. So now the pandemic hits, and it's like, oh, I can't go see Teresa. Wait a minute, what you talking about? I can't see Teresa. That's my bestie. I gotta see Teresa. They don't know how to act because they're so used to social, and even though they're glued to their phones and things like that, you would think, okay, well, you're on your phones anyway, so it shouldn't be that hard for you because you don't communicate verbally, you do everything via text. So what's the big deal? But I do get it, it's like they got used to being able to see their friends and interacting, and now here it is, like you said, it's that whole thing is you don't miss it until you can't have it. Like it's like the thing, you got a car sits out in the driveway all week, you don't go nowhere. But the minute the car broke down, you want to go everywhere.
You got 1,000
you're like, oh my God, I can't get out the house and stuff like that. So yeah, and you're right. And I think what happened, a lot of people, they were so caught up in what they couldn't do, they forgot to checking on other people piece, you know, stuff, their loved ones and stuff. And so I can see how they feel, people was feeling isolated.
Yeah.
You talked about voting rights. What other hotbed issues are happening right now in your county, and how are you all looking at dealing with it? What steps are you all taking to execute some solutions this year in your county?
Yeah, so the biggest thing from the voting rights, of course, we are putting out messaging so that everyone could actually contact Congress and Senate at the federal level to make sure that they pass the John Lewis voting rights bill. We want that done, but at the same time, we are mobilizing our county to make sure that everyone gets the right information, know where their precincts are, where their polling places are, and prepare them for the upcoming primary elections. Our biggest thing is, yes, you are registered, but we want to make sure that you actually get to the polls and be able to actually vote. So our message is going to be a little different but than before. We put a lot of emphasis. State of Georgia has registered more than 100,000 people from the last election. So we don't need to focus on registering people. We need to focus on getting people to actually get to the polls and turn out with their votes. So that's the part on the voting piece. The other part is the crisis as it relates to homelessness or evictions, or the whole thing with no one paid their rent and stuff during COVID because of COVID. We have executed a tenant landlord agreement where we have funds to keep people in their homes. The key thing that in working with the elected officials and our county is to make sure no one gets evicted. And then if they do, we need to have a place for them to go. So one of the key things as a civil rights advocate, I'm stating we don't want people on the streets. So whatever we need to do, we need to make sure people don't be on the street. So we are one of the nonprofits to help keep people in, and we're paying like the last 12 months of past due rents to the landlords. If there's an agreement, we're making sure that our people are not hungry. We're giving out food, and it's not just the regular food that has been in our pantries. It is healthy food, and what I'm told is a lot of this is coming from our Black farmers. So we're getting a healthy food boxes with meat, and usually it doesn't come with meat. It's usually a lot of vegetables and fruit. So we're doing that as well. But we're also, from a COVID perspective, we have multiple sites as it relates to making sure you're tested. But if you want to get your vaccine and get your booster, they're on every corner, just like we got wing places and and liquor stores.
That's smart.
Isn't that crazy? But isn't that crazy now you say that now?
It's being real.
Yeah, COVID testing sites are just like you said. You got one like it's a liquor store on every corner. You almost got a COVID testing site now on every corner. And,
yes.
That's happening out here too in Los Angeles. Before, I think they were kind of spread out sporadically, but now they're like everywhere. And we have one close to our house, and for the last week, that testing site has been it's been off the chain, as they say. And I just shake my head. I said, see, this thing has been up for over a year. Hardly nobody was coming in that thing. Now all of a sudden, what's the name?
Omicron
done came. Omicron. See, Omicron she probably a chick too. She probably said, you know what? I'm finna show y'all something. I'm gonna show you better I can tell you. And,
yes, exactly what she's doing.
I know what you wanted to call her.
She said, look, y'all ain't listening. Y'all ain't doing what y'all need to do. I'm finna show you something. Look here, and see what happened. And now these lines is they stretched out around the corner, around the block, 2 blocks down. Everywhere you go. So.
Yes,
that B Omicron done showed up. That B Omicron done showed up.
We're not gonna have no vacation. We're not gonna
right.
Not today.
Yeah. So
this is crazy. I did want to ask you. Okay, the church has always played a major role in civil rights
Mm-hmm.
and the civil rights fight, especially in the South.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the cachet of the church has kind of diminished a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Has it in Atlanta, in that area also, or does it still play a major role and have heavy influence as it once did? And then, if you don't mind, your personal opinion on why that has changed so much.
So I think that a lot of the churches had relaxed, and I think that's the same thing we did in our Black community. I talk about this a lot, the fact that we had the voting rights bill in 1965, and the fact that we're still fighting for the same voting rights here in 2021, to be exact, 22 as well. I think everybody had relaxed a little bit. When we had the Ahmaud Arbery case to come up, there was an opportunity for all of us to get back together. And I hate that it had to be a tragedy. It's always a tragedy that brings Black people together. I don't know why, but we need to just we need to really figure this thing out. It's just always a tragedy,
exactly,
to bring us together to do what is just right? So yeah, we over the 20 years, I've been here 21 years. It wasn't that close between the church and the civil rights, and then just politics in general, along with the businesses. That was not what people were doing. It seemed like everyone was working in their silos. But because we've had an opportunity to go through some real tragedies, I think everybody is now getting on board to work together. We have no choice but to work together at this point. No one person can do it alone. In my itch to actually go out to the community, I literally had to sit down with a lot of different pastors to say, how can we work together? We're a civil rights organization. You're the church. We started civil rights in the church. We need it back because our community need us, right? And the fact that even though we were not able to go to church during COVID, we had more meetings together as civil rights, businesses, government entities, and businesses and the schools to kind of figure out what is it that we have to do, because our community is dependent on us. And there was no one to actually lead the charge, and the charge needed to be led by all of us, not one of us. And I think that's what you're going to see here I know that's what you're seeing here in DeKalb County, not just DeKalb County, in the state of Georgia. We're also talking to Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, and North Carolina as well. Whatever affects Georgia, it affects all the Southeast, even Texas. Okay. So our thing to work together with the churches, I think you're seeing it better. The AME Church has literally put out messaging. It's all about messaging, because one thing I know, Black people will listen to their church leaders. I don't care what. So the message had to come from them. And then we have a lot of our Baptist preachers are starting to come together. Methodist, Catholic. I mean, we literally have started a faith leadership type thing. I don't care if you're white, Black, pink, or purple. The issues that we have are plaguing our community, and it is time for the church to do its part. And I think they did lax, but I think we're all coming together as one and trying to figure out what we need to do going forward.
Awesome. You have a question.
Okay.
I understand that you are in the greater Atlanta area, but do you work with other counties like Columbia, Richmond, Augusta area?
Yes, we do. I'm the president of DeKalb County, but I'm also the treasurer for the state of Georgia. So I do work with the whole state of Georgia. I try to work within clusters as it relates to the branch. But when we talk about the state of Georgia, yes, we all work on the same type of issues. Because we're units, you in your community as a unit need to understand what your real needs are in your community. And that's where we're strong in DeKalb County, because a lot of people are like, well, we can't do what you do in DeKalb County. Like, we go and register people to vote in the jailhouse. And they were like, well, we can't get in the jail. I said, well, you need to build a relationship so that you can, because the people in the jail, they don't have a felony. Everybody don't have a felony. It's a holding place. Right. So then you got to educate your community, and you got to educate other branches on what they can do in their community to get people to understand their true rights. So yes, we do share in a lot of what we're doing, but people like to compare rural and metro against each other. What I try to do is bridge us together, because I'm not in the rural area, but I grew up rural. So I understand the dynamics of what they're going through as it relates to not having the same type of relationships as a urban and metro area does. So yes, we do work together. And I do know a lot of the presidents across state of Georgia.
Teresa, I have a question, because I'm familiar with Atlanta, with just Georgia and Atlanta, but not like you are probably. So, and you just brought up something as metro and as in rural. Can you tell us or tell me some of the rural, what's considered rural area in Georgia? If a person was thinking about, oh, I'm going to Georgia, I'm going to be somewhere, because you guys got a lot of different counties. I do understand that. And everybody thinks, when you think Georgia, you think Atlanta, but there's more than Atlanta in Georgia, and Atlanta is just a small part of Georgia compared to the bigger part. And DeKalb County, what is that from? Like, how many miles or so is that from Atlanta proper? What they say Atlanta proper, which is, I guess, downtown Atlanta.
Yeah. So we actually, metro area, we actually have this highway called 285. So anything inside of 285 is considered metro. But right now, I think we're expanding a lot. And what metro includes is the DeKalb County, Fulton County, Cobb County, Gwinnett County, Clayton County, and we sometimes want to pull in Fayette. But those are the major counties that's for the metro. Anything else outside of that is pretty much rural. But you got rural Georgia and you got rural South Georgia, right? And you got rural North Georgia too. So it's kind of, the things outside of metro will be kind of rural Georgia. But when you get to like Brunswick, where Ahmaud Arbery, I know you guys are familiar with that case, that is literally South Georgia, right? And then you got Forsyth County, which is way north, mostly where we hear about the Ku Klux Klan and stuff. That's kind of where Hosea Williams got his fame, by going up there. So yeah, those are the real rural areas, but the state of Georgia itself is totally rural. But metro is literally, what we found out is if you can get metro to get their stuff together, we can actually lead the whole state of Georgia. And I think that's what was shown in that last Senate race. So,
and also what sound like we got to sprinkle, we got to get into North Georgia and change the add a little bit to the rainbow over there. That's why I call it the rainbow over there. That's what it sounds like. We need to be moving. We need to get some people more north and change some things up. I don't want to say. Well, I guess you call it. Should we gentrify North Georgia?
That would be funny, and that's I know we have these conversations in our Black community about gentrification, and I said, do y'all know what really happens with gentrification? And everybody's like, yeah, the white people come and move us out. I said, nobody can make you move. Y'all sell y'all's property.
Right.
You sell your property. So if they sell the property to us, yeah, we can gentrify it. But Black people are not about going way out, right? We all like to kind of be together. Even though we're separate, but we're really together. We feel like we need to be together, but I don't think so. But gentrification is like a terrible word to use, but they don't really understand how we could actually use it for our own benefit.
Yeah, it's like a buzzword. They hear it and they're like, "Oh, it sound like it's something big." So I'm gonna say it like you said, and not really know what the true meaning of gentrification is. Because you're right. Me and my husband talk about it all the time. These people can't come in our community if we ain't selling no house. If Johnny ain't selling grandma a house because Johnny want to make some money, hey, Becky couldn't get up in here.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
I want to ask you, because I know there are people that have asked this question. Just in general, what does the NAACP do? And when would someone come to the NAACP and ask for assistance or contribute?
Okay. So NAACP is a civil rights organization, been here 112 years. Okay. If you look at the mission and the goal of the NAACP, it is here for all people, and it is going to stay as long as we have hatred and racial discrimination. And I'm just kind of breaking this down because people ask, the relevance of the actual organization. So we want to relate it back to the actual mission. until and because we had the hatred and racial discrimination actually show up in our face, I think everybody is now on to being a part of this civil rights organization. You should join the NAACP because it is the longest, long-standing organization, civil rights organization in the world. It's the only one. I know everybody else is creating organization, but it's the only one. But if we all could actually come together to work, that's the way we're going to have to progress, especially if we really want to end racial and hatred, discrimination. Do we really want justice for all? NAACP is the only organization that's the mission for. Everybody else organization got a little other piece to it. But what I found in working in the NAACP, we touch everything, every type of issue. We have 18 major committees in the organization that can do whatever is needed for the community that you serve in. You don't have to use them all, but there is one for one. And if we learn how to collaborate in these issues and advocate for the issues in our community, it will work. The organization will work as long as the people or the leadership work it.
Do you have a relationship with, or does the NAACP have a relationship with Black Lives Matter?
Yes.
And what does that look like?
Yes. So Black Lives Matter, remember their mission is, it stands along with police brutality, right? So when they're wanting to stand on police issues, police reform, that fits into our criminal justice reform initiative. So yes, we're going to work together. Even though it says Black Lives Matter and they're specifically to police reform, it still fits under our initiatives as it relates to criminal justice reform. So yes, we do work together on that.
Okay, you can work together, but do you have different ways of carrying out your agenda, and how does that mesh?
So so it depends on what's going on. I can only relate to what we do in DeKalb and in Georgia. So we work together as Black Lives Matter and NAACP as one, because we work based on the actual issue. When we had the issue as it relates to Anthony Hill, who was a veteran who was shot butt naked, there was no division between what we wanted to do. It was Black Lives Matter who stepped up first, but NAACP was there with them to kind of carry out the actual rules and rules of engagement of how we're going to make sure justice was served. So we do work together. I think I personally believe it depends on the leaders and the how you sit around the table and figure out what you're going to do. But it is my goal to never be separate, but to be together, collaborative for the issue.
If someone feels like they're dealing with something, let's say in their neighborhood, in their community, in their city, and they want to engage, or they want to get the engagement of the NAACP, what are best steps for that?
So it's funny. This is the funniest thing. I've told the preachers and teachers and everywhere I speak, I said, here's the thing. Like you said, most people come to the NAACP reactive, not proactive, meaning something has actually happened. And they want everything to stop when it happens to them. So I've always said that I don't care what's going on in someone's life. If they are not a Christian or not, they call on two people when they're in trouble. And it's Jesus and the NAACP. And these two entities have to be ready all the time, right? No matter what, right? We're here for the people. You call on Jesus. I mean, I've seen an atheist call on Jesus when they needed it, right? When you have a car accident, you say Jesus, okay? But when your son or your daughter or your grandchild gets in jail, the first place y'all call is the NAACP. But you've never had any interaction with the organization to get an understanding of what the organization does. The NAACP works better with all complaints. You can't have just one complaint where it's individual. We have to work as a whole. So we collect complaints on a regular basis, and then we assess them to say, like, let's say we get these complaints all from the jail, and we get them. And so we're not going to look at just your son being in jail. right? We got to look at all the policies, the procedures, and everything else. What kind of complaints we getting in, and we sit down with the sheriff and say, hey, we getting these complaints. Can we look at some of your policy or your procedures to see how this is really working, or can you share with us how we can make it better, right? And then we go and we communicate that change to it. I sat on the advisory committee and we made some changes on the on some of the, I'm not going to say, but we made some policy changes as it relates to how some of the behavior in the jailhouse was being done, whether it was with the inmates or just with the workers themselves. So we did it as a collaborative. We had community people come in. We read over the policy, which a lot of people don't do. And then we made recommendations for the sheriff to make implementation. She made some of them. She didn't make all of them. You can't make everything, because some of it we have no control over, because we got other people that are in position that say we can't do this. So some things we can't do. So I think the engagement of complaints, if you got complaints, send them in. But please do your due diligence and be a part, right? You know, it's only $30 to be a member of the NAACP. $30. $2.50 a month. It is worth everyone being a member before your son, daughter, grandchild get in trouble. Here's the thing. The United States of America Constitution has it set up so all Black people gonna get something to happen to them. We just don't want you to get in the system. But once you're in the system, we got to play game to make sure that you're treated fairly, right? So how are we going to do this if we can't keep John from coming in having sticky fingers in a little store? But then you tell me John don't need to go to jail. No, and you tell me then that I can't whoop John. So which one you want? Which one do you want?
See, Teresa, you and I, we could probably talk all day, because I could talk to you about John.
Yeah,
I got 30 years of dealing with John, and John mama don't think John bad. Right. John mama don't think John don't be inside the wall cutting up, acting up, okay, right. You know, everything. But John only calling mama when he ain't getting his way, or we done something to him. But he ain't calling mama when he did something to us. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, hold on. Hold on. And it's funny that you say they call, when they get in jail, they call the NAACP and they call on Jesus. Yeah. My thing is they need to be calling a bail bondsman and an attorney. That's what they need to be calling first. Okay, because just because you go to jail don't mean NAACP got to be involved, because you committed a crime and you in jail. Right. But it's funny how they want to reach out to y'all, you know, when you go to jail. So my question was, do you guys do anything like on an individual basis, like let's say in the workforce? Because I know you do a lot of stuff happening in the community and stuff like that. But let's just say here I am, you know, I'm a little, you know, little girl, my little job, my little government job, my civil service job. And I feel as though, you know what, they ain't been treating me right on my job. Right. They've been, you know, looking over me. I'm doing good work. I'm coming to work every day. My attendance is good. You know, I ain't got no write-ups, nothing like that. I'm doing what how you train me to do my job. Right. But I can't get that next bump. You know, I can't get that next assignment. You know, do y'all step in then and help out with people like that on an individual basis with their jobs?
So, well, my professional life, I do human resource stuff. So I may have to talk to them on the side, but that is not a NAACP civil rights issue, right? Okay. So, and to your point though, that's the education behind it, right? Right. But if you think about what we really need in our community is relationships, right? Because that's all about relationships. I know that, and I have had those conversations where people say, they treat me this, they ain't giving me no raise. I said, well, what are you really doing to get a raise? Because most times, if you're doing your job, that's all you're going to get paid to do, right? Because that's why they hired you. Yep. Now, if you want to go up the ladder, you got to do some other things. And you might not like it. Right. You're not going to like what you got to do. Right. You're not going to like the political piece that you have to do to play the game to go to the next level. So you really need to make sure. That's why I'm like, okay, yeah, on that part, I'd be like, yeah, girl, you might want to just keep your 8 to 5, figure out how the way you could get your own business so you can do your own thing. Right. That, you know, that's how I kind of keep your job. Right. But, yeah, but I don't know about going up the ladder. If you want to go up the ladder, you're going to have to do the corporate ladder stuff. And it's not the thing that most Black people want to deal with, right? I've been in corporate America 20 something, longer than that, 30 years. And I know the games that need to be played. And a lot of our Black people do not want to do those games. And if you do it well.
I want to circle back on something you said, because Gia has said it before, and I wanted to bring it to the forefront. Come to us when ain't nothing going on and be a part of what's going on so that you can be integrated into the system. You get it. You know what's up. If you have some questions, we can fix it before things go awry. Gia has always said, and I totally agree, when there's no calamity, is a good time to get involved with your police department, community engagement, see what kind of transparency laws are on the books. If it's something you don't like, work towards change, get your community involved, change these laws that might be on the books. But they wait until something happens, and then it's our police department is racist. Our police department is this, that, and the other. But you never took the time to find out what kind of laws are on the books for your department or that police your community. I'm bringing this up because I know that laws are not the same everywhere. I think people think, oh, this is the law and this is how I should be treated. And it happened over here and I want y'all to get on it. And we need to start a riot.
Right.
Yep.
People all the time, I tell them, listen, culture is different in different places. And those are laws. Laws are put in place that govern those cultures. So they do still have separate proms in Mississippi. That is not against the law. Sorry, it's not. And then it happens and you want to be all up in arms. Well, when nothing is happening is a good time for you to find out what kind of laws are on the books. So I want you two to discuss with me again and the audience how important it is to be proactive and find out what kind of government you are actually living in before you jump to the conclusion that laws are being broken or you're being treated wrong or you are being discriminated against, because just like you said, they'll call not knowing that really ain't nothing that y'all can do about it, right?
Right.
So talk about that community engagement piece and getting involved before the mess happens. Both of you, Gia and Ms. Hardy.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ms. Hardy.
Okay. Just quickly, here's my thing. I'm from Alabama originally, so I've already went through all of that. I graduated from a PWI, and then I have traveled the world, and I ended up in Atlanta because my ex-husband said we are no longer living around white people. We're going to live around Black people. So that was my first thing, is to live around Black people when I got here in Atlanta. And from day one, I did get involved. There's an involvement when you're with your child. You have to go to the PTA. You have to go to all the games. I was PTA mom. I was band booster. All that. Then there's your church involvement. Then there's where you live. You need to know how the trash get picked up, who's supposed to pick it up, when it's supposed to be picked up. It's those basic little things just in your block. I call it a block by block type of thing to get engaged. Ain't nobody asked you to go downtown. We said everybody need to get involved with your neighbors to the left, the right, the front, and the back of you. If you start there, you'll start to see that you can actually build relationships and people of the same concern, so that you can start working on little issues together instead of waiting till something tragically happens, right? So you want to make sure that you're engaging on a regular basis. This is not, I know nobody don't like to do it because you cannot get paid for it, but it's really worth the actual seed that you're going to sow and the reward that you're going to give to a better community. So you need to stay engaged on the smallest little things and then educate yourself. This is like Civics 101. I'm surprised at how many people don't know who their representatives are and what they are supposed to do. Our commissioners do not pick up trash, but they get all the calls for picking up trash. So when I hear things like that, I send out things on our Nextdoor and Facebook. I give educational pointers and where you can go to get more education. But our people are not reading. They're not reading. They're only emotional. If we could take the emotions out and actually read and educate ourselves so that we educate each other and we have coffee together, we can make a better engagement with our people. It's simple, but we make it really, really hard. And this is something that we could do on a regular basis.
Absolutely. Gia?
I agree wholeheartedly with what Ms. Hardy was saying. I was going to say the same thing. First of all, they wasn't paying attention in their civics class, and that's why they having all these questions and wanting all this stuff, thinking they're supposed to get all this stuff. They need, like you said, educate themselves on the laws. We get this all the time. Well, why did he get arrested? Why did this happen? Why did this happen? Why did she do this? Why did that do that? They had no right to do that. And again, I tell people, well, yes, we do. There's laws, and that penal code book is very thick. It's a whole lot of penal codes in there that can cause you to be arrested, whether they use on a regular basis or not, but they're in there. And the same thing with the vehicle codes and stuff. Well, why did he pull me, or why did I get pulled over for this? Well, and I asked him, was your tail light broken? Was it not working? Yeah. Well, how long was it not working? I don't know. Okay, well, it's supposed to be working, right? Yeah. Okay. So I'm driving behind you. It's not working. I pull you over. He didn't have the right. She had the right to pull me over. Yes, I did. The tail light was out. It's in the vehicle code. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, but like you said, they be so emotional. Everybody emotional. Oh, the police this, the police that, stuff like that. No, cut it out, y'all. Cut it out. Get involved. Yes. Go down to the police department and get engaged. Like you said those words, get engaged. We're human, and I think if you start interacting more with these civic places, your outlook on things would be a little bit different, and you wouldn't be so reactionary and stuff. You'd be a little more proactive, and like you never wrong. We human. I about Tonya. Tonya's a prime example. She moved to a city that I lived in LA all my life. We only went to Redondo Beach to go to the beach or go to the mall that's near there and stuff. We wasn't talking about like living in Redondo Beach. Tonya came here. They moved to Redondo Beach, and she got involved with her city. And by her getting involved and her and I interacting a lot more, she got me to, think about, wow, in a smaller city, I didn't think about that kind of stuff, or I should be thinking about that kind of stuff living in my small city to get involved with what's going on in the community, in the government and stuff like that. They're there. That's the whole thing. It's public. Okay. So they private, public. We got to let y'all in. Okay? Yeah. That's the whole thing. We can't say, oh no, we refuse to write your service. We can't do that. No, it's public. We there for y'all, for the citizens and stuff. And hey, come up to, like you said, get some coffee. You see us, hey, when I was working, I go to Starbucks, I get coffee. You can say hello. How you doing? You can ask me some questions. That's what I'm there for. It's like I'm there to get some coffee. Yes. But I'm also there if you got a question. I can answer your question. Don't wait till your son or your daughter got arrested. Then you want to come, Gia. With such and such. No.
I'm trying to get coffee.
I'm trying to get coffee. I don't know why that police department arrested your son, but look, I'm here getting my coffee.
That's it.
But so get engaged, people. We need to get engaged with our police, and like you said, there's a lot of things you can learn, and even with your fire department, it's things that that we can learn from the fire departments too, to tell us about how to keep our houses safe, from preventing fires and things like that. But these are the things that we don't do. But let something happen. Oh shoot, why they do that? It's their fault. No, it's not. It's not always their fault. But that's what we're living in right now. But we gotta, like you said, we gotta get our coffee, have some conversations with coffee, and talk about some things, and maybe I ain't gonna say re-educate, but maybe we need to throw some tidbits out for people, have them scratching their head thinking, oh, let me go check into that, So because like you said, the commissioner don't do nothing but trash. That's a private company to pick up the trash. We got a contract with the trash company, but that's a private company. So why are you calling the commissioner talking about my trash wasn't picked up? But also go on the website. It probably told you it's a holiday. They don't pick up trash on the holiday. Okay, on that particular holiday. So come on.
What you calling me for?
They either they'll call you, or they'll post it on Facebook or social media, which is like, why? And then they have a whole conversation. Have anybody even looked at the website to see?
Right.
Nobody.
No.
I was like, y'all using social media in the wrong way, but everybody, what I'm finding is everybody wants to put their opinion out. And I'm okay with freedom of speech, but I just want your speech to be right and relevant.
Right.
Do your homework, people. Do your homework. Yes. Do your homework. I wanted you, before you get out of here, to tell us a little bit about your company. We empower women. We think it is important to support women in business, women doing their creative things, women that are raising the next generation of leaders. What is it that you've been doing? You said for almost 30 years now. And what's entrepreneurship and business ownership like for you, especially in a leadership position with the NAACP?
It's hard. It's hard. So I've been a consultant for a major company for years. I'm doing my own thing. It's called Hardy Graham and Associates, which is a business consulting a firm where I'm doing strategic planning for small businesses. I also have
what is that?
What does that look like? What does that look like for a small business?
Tell them what is strategic planning for small businesses. Because if you have a small business, you might need strategic planning and don't even know it.
Yes, I believe that every business needs strategic planning. There's no way you could actually do your business without strategic planning. What you do is most small businesses start with a product or service, and they just start doing that, and they start making their money, and they good. But they don't know how to strategize to make sure that they can actually go to the next level. Most of the small businesses I have, they usually don't even have like the basic things. Like they don't have an EIN, they're not registered with the Secretary of State. They don't have a bank account. They don't have any of this stuff. And I'm sitting there like, well, how are you going to go to the next level, hon? We need to go through and get this right here set up. It's just going to the basics. These are just the basics. What I'm finding with our small businesses. And it really kicked in more when we went through COVID and had to use the PPE and no one could get qualified. Why couldn't you get qualified? Because you were not a business. You're not legit. If you're not legit, there's no way you could be a business. So so my company, small company, just works with small businesses just to get you to the level so that you could actually get to the next level of your business. And strategic planning is what we do, kind of create a roadmap, a small roadmap to actually say, here are the things you need to do to get to this. Now, if you want to be certified, here's the things you need to do to be certified so you can get these contracts with the government, if that's what you so choose to do. But you can actually get other contracts if you got this, right? So that's what I do with that.
I love that. Yeah. How have you been able to grow your business over the years and stay in business this long?
Well, this one actually is I've only been in it about 11 years, but I only do it small. It's only word of mouth for me because I'm in so many different things, and I do my consulting is program and project management. That one pays the bill, the real bills. Then I do the one that I like doing, which is small business consulting. And then I'm also, I have a commercial real estate business, 5 other women. It's 5 of us, 5 Black women that we started during the pandemic.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Black women. Wait a minute. I was going to say, Teresa, girl, we need to have a whole show on that right there. But go on. We don't have that much time, but tell us about that one.
We can do that. We actually have, it's 3 real estate brokers, myself as a community influencer, and then a lawyer. It's 5 women. The name of our company is the Dollar Empowered Company. We're a commercial real estate syndicate where we're raising money to buy commercial property. And our stakeholders, we're wanting to be community people so that you can actually get the residual from the income, residual income quarterly. And then from 5-6 years sale, that's your capital investment. And then we'll do it again. So that's something we've started here in DeKalb County. It's 5 of us, 5 girls. And we did that during the pandemic. It's going on a year. So we're doing really well with raising the funds. And we're in the middle of a raise. We started out and asked everyone to start out with $2,500 to be a part of it. And as you know, any type of investment, you cannot do $2,500 as an investment. Our ultimate goal is to raise $1 million. We started this and asked everybody to help us raise $1 million, which is we need 860,000 more. So that's the raise that we're in right now. And we are going to do some things to kind of get our next raise before we go up to 10,000. So the goal, we're going up to 10,000 because 10,000 is the norm for any investment, but it's really 25, but we're going to do 10,000 so that we wanted to keep it low, so that we wanted mostly community people to actually get involved in it. We are actually using a policy in the state of Georgia called IGE, Invest Georgia Exemption, so that we don't have to do all the taxes and all that stuff. So as long as you're a Georgia resident, you can actually be a part of this company. So that's the other thing that we're doing.
Okay, so Teresa.
Yes, ma'am.
We need to talk more about this because I'm already thinking that you need to have some chapters in other states, and you guys need to, teach other women on how to do this.
Yes,
investing. And I might soon be a resident of Atlanta.
Okay.
So I might be looking into getting into the company.
She lying. She lying.
But
she
if I
always told me she homegrown to LA. So
wait, but you know what, Teresa? My sister is in Atlanta.
Okay.
She's been in Atlanta for almost 30 years.
Wow.
So when I get off this podcast,
Right.
I'm gonna be on the phone with her.
That's right.
I'm gonna be like, so I need you to drop all that information in our page, so I can tell her to go to the page, get the information, so she can get involved in that company.
Yes. So we're doing a lot.
We just actually purchased our first piece in Georgia. So we have industrial property out there, and it's a good place, y'all. So if you want to get going in industrial and you haven't started yet, it's a good investment. So thank you for sharing that. Let everyone know how they can keep in contact with you, stay up to date with what's going on with the NAACP and everything else that you have going on.
Okay, so even though we're in the middle of a pandemic, we're still moving forward. Next week, we will be celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Day with a parade. So we're right now getting our bands together, the school, everybody. I literally was on the phone right before this trying to get all of this together. But if anyone wants to participate in the actual parade, they can go to our website, which is www.naacpdekalb.org. And just register from our website. From there, you can also visit that website at any time. It has everything that's going on in DeKalb County on it. And then you can actually find me on that too. There is a speaker request for Teresa Hardy, or the president, on the NAACP page. But my email address is president@naacpdekalb.org.
Love that. And we're going to make sure that we get all that information on our My Morning Coffee page, guys. So stay tuned on that. We'll also put it on the captions for the pod. So if you're looking for her, we'll have the way to connect right on there. Miss Gia, what do you have coming up that you might want to share with the people?
I don't have anything coming up, but what I do want to share with the people, I didn't get to share earlier, because you know me, I'm all about supporting. I'm about supporting small businesses, no matter what, female, male, just in this businesses, period. So I wanted to give a shout out. I wanted to plug a small business. I actually went there during my birthday weekend. It's called Kai's Table. It's a Black-owned restaurant, Southern comfort food restaurant in downtown LA. It's on Hope and 11th. I met, me and my husband met one of the executive chefs / owners, I believe, of the restaurant, Kai's Table. And we met him at a dinner party, and we decided to go and support his business on that following Sunday. I went for brunch. So you guys in LA, check it out, Google it, go to Yelp, all that. It's called Kai's Table, KAI''S, Kai's Table, Southern comfort food. It's a vibe there. It was brunch all day, have music going on. For y'all who partake in the hookah, they have hookah outside. They have a little bit for everything, but it's a small business. These are some brothers that got this restaurant, and we need to go out and support it. and I'm going to do my part because I support other restaurants. So I'm putting him in. He's in my rotation of places I go to eat. So I want my people. Y'all. I don't have nothing going on right now. So y'all, but my website. Go to my website, themahoganybox.com, and get you some gear. Get you some. I got some jewelry on there. I got some t-shirts, sweatshirts. You name it. I don't. If I don't have it now, I will have it because that's what I do. I create fabulous things, and we're gonna execute all this stuff that I'm doing and what everybody else is doing too on the website. But again, I want to plug Kai's Table. It's not a plug for me, but it's for Kai because that's what I'm about. I'm about others, So that's what I got going on. I got Kai's Table going on this month.
I'll be a little salty and just let you know that you can watch last week's episode because Jeff talked about it. And Goody said he was going, and you don't have to be from LA. We know a lot of y'all come visit, so go on out. I saw the pictures. I was feeling real salty that I didn't get to make it, but I think I'm gonna try to get out there to Kai's Table. And for our amazing guests, if you ever get out here, Miss Hottie, maybe we can lunch at Kai's Table.
I will do that. I will look for that. I haven't been to LA in a while.
Oh, look, this is a secret, but it ain't a secret no more. I'm gonna be in Atlanta soon.
Okay.
Teresa.
I hope it ain't on no Monday when you got a show.
Well, I'm gonna take my computer if it is a Monday. I think I don't remember. I think it's the end of February.
Okay, that's Black History Month, so we're gonna be hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Atlanta.
Okay,
so I'm scouting. So I'm gonna be scouting out some things.
It's a lot to do.
So maybe when I'm there,
call
me.
Gia keep telling people she moving. She looking for somewhere to live. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere.
So
she can
I might be out there looking for some commercial property, honey.
Right.
Auntie. I'm getting to retire, so auntie, I might need to, have some investment somewhere.
Okay.
But
yeah, just call me.
Okay.
Awesome.
Call me.
And you guys know you can always find me at Sand and Shores on all social media platforms. If you are still toggling with public relations for your company or your personal brand, let me know. I got you. We want to thank you for coming and spending time with us, Miss Teresa Hardy. We look forward to all the great things. Oh, real quick, where is the parade going to be at? What city?
Yeah, it's Decatur. So we're starting from Green Pastures Christian Church on Flat Shoals Parkway, and we will end up at Dr. Martin Luther King High School on and it's actually Martin Luther King Parkway. So it's like everything's significant to what we're doing for the parade. It's all roads lead to Dr. Martin Luther King. His dad lived off that street that we're actually having the parade. So
all right. And remember, if you are in Southern California and you want to come out to Redondo Beach at 3:00 on MLK Day, it is a day of service. So hopefully you will take some time to serve a community, the one you live in, the one someone you love lives in, or just a community that needs some TLC. So take that time, serve that. We have our MLK event. It's our 3rd annual. 3 times. We've been able to pull this off 3 times. Yes, only 3, but we're growing. So
with this our 20th.
Listen, I love a good historical event too. So hopefully this will be historical too. We're gonna try to carry on that tradition. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for spending the time, shedding some knowledge, opening some eyes, opening some minds. I hope y'all heard what she said. Read, get involved, get engaged. Don't wait till stuff hits the fan. Show up. Be a part of what's going on in your community. And the truth of the matter is we'll all be better for it. So thanks a lot. And you guys will see you next week. Same bat channel, same bat place.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye.